So yeah, welcome in. I'm so glad to finally be able to meet you.
Of course.
Is this kind of your first time in a therapy setting, or have we been in a situation like this before?
No, this is first time for sure.
First time? Yeah. Okay. Well, happy to have you. Want you to know that this is your safe space. This is confidential space, and anything you say will be kept in this room. However, there are some situations where that may not be the case, and I do just want to kind of go over those just to have them outlined for you and what they may look like. Have you ever heard of like a confidentiality agreement before?
Yes.
Yeah?
Like everything stays in this room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, however, in some cases where maybe you disclose feeling perhaps thoughts of harming yourself or harming somebody else, those would be instances where I would need to take that information outside the room and talk to a supervisor or disclose that to someone outside of this room.
Okay.
Also, if you disclose anything relating to child abuse or child neglect, that's also something where I'll need to break confidentiality for. Or if there's any abuse from a medical professional, if you tell me anything like that, then I'll also need to break confidentiality.
Okay.
And another important one that likely will not happen, but in case it does, if any of our papers or any of our conversations are subpoenaed to court, or if my supervisor by any chance does require transcripts from our conversations, I will also need to share those with them, just because I am a student and I am being supervised. So just wanted to get that out there. Does that kind of at all make sense to you? Is there any questions that you have about that?
No, absolutely. I think so, yeah. I'll let you know if anything changes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we can definitely go over that next session as well, just to kind of make sure that that's fresh on your mind. But yeah, so I guess now that we've kind of covered the bases, I was looking through your intake papers and saw that you wanted to discuss some feelings you were having about the program you're in at school.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess honestly, mostly what brought me in here, which another student client for you, sorry.
No, don't apologize.
But yeah, I don't know. I started a program. I guess I've been a student for a while now. Like I did college, which led me, I was able to transfer it into university, a different degree.
And sorry, where do you go to school now?
Now I go to University of Waterloo, like their Renison University College, whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, like actually I had to move to go there. Like up until now, I've been doing school from my childhood bedroom, online for most of it, half as a result of the pandemic and half chosen just because the format fit my needs better. I know I'm not the type of person to drag myself out of bed at 8 a.m. unless I'm getting paid.
That is very fair.
So yeah, I don't know. I have a 10-month program now.
Okay.
That's like one of those like fast track things where I guess like all of my credits and education, whatever, can transfer into it.
And how are things going? How far into the program are you actually, first of all?
Geez, I'm not a math person. I want to say 4 months, but don't quote me. I'm finishing up my first term now. So like in about like a week and a half, I'll be like completely washed hands, done with the first term. But it's a 3-term program, so still have to come back.
You're almost a third of the way done though. That must be kind of exciting to have that finish line in sight, right?
No, you know what? It's partially exciting, but then when it comes to future planning, I don't know. I guess I don't. It's interesting that for so long my goal has been education, that now I find that I don't have a goal of what to do with the education. Like get a job, sure, like pay the bills, absolutely, pay off my loans and support my mom in any way that I can. But like what that job is kind of one of those like, I feel like that's almost what brought me here is like, I don't know, it's interesting to talk to people in my program. They have like very specific, like, I want to work with this organization in like I don't know, like I want to work for Children's Services and I want to do like the home visits and supervised visit and like, work as this like caseworker role, whatever, or like, oh, like I want to work like boots on the ground, like outreach, whatever, which like, don't get me wrong, I do like relate to that heavily, but when you look at the actual jobs, like, I don't know, maybe this sounds pathetic, but I'm like, oh, like, I hate the idea of kind of being like all over the place with my work, like, oh, like you have like a 4 a.m. start here, a 10 p.m. start here, like it's call-in work, it's inconsistent, like it's harsh work, and then it's not paid as well as like some of those cushier like office job positions are.
So it kind of feels like, at least what I'm gathering, is that after talking with some of your classmates, you feel like everyone seems to have a very clear trajectory of where they're trying to go after this program, and you're feeling like you don't quite have that figured out yet?
I feel like that's a big part of it, but then like maybe this is a really cynical or like, I don't know, like almost a rude perspective to have, but sometimes I talk to people in the program and I'm like, you have a plan, absolutely. Like, I envy your ability to like future plan and like have goals and whatever, but I find myself frustrated by like some of the stuff that I hear. Like, I interact with people and it's weird that like on the one hand, I know I don't have goals for the future and I don't necessarily feel comfortable in the program, but then like if we're sharing in class or something like that, and like this is rude, don't get me wrong, but I'd be like, man, like, do you really think that? Like, you've never heard of this before? Like, this has never crossed your brain? Like, this is the first time that we're ever thinking of this? Or even like the way that they talk about groups, where like, for me, the reason I got into the program is like, my friends were drug addicts, my friends like myself were suicidal as fuck, like, I don't know, like, I was such a like loser for such a long period of my life of just like no goals, didn't give a fuck, will hang out with anyone, will do anything, will like get myself into this crazy scenario just for the hell of it.
Right.
And like in a weird way, I know it's not right, like I know it's not appropriate, but I'd be like, oh, you guys never did drugs before? Your friends have never died? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like a weird form of judgment where like, I think it comes from the envy of like, oh, like, I want the goal planning that you have, but it frustrates me that in my opinion, which like, what the hell do I know? You don't know shit. Like, you've never lived through this. Like, you can't even empathize with the people who've lived through this, and you're just like talking out your ass.
Do you think you could give me an example of something that has made you feel that kind of anger or frustration, or that cynicism that you're talking about? I know it sounds like you've had kind of a hard time connecting maybe with some of your classmates and maybe their motivations for being in the program. Is that fair?
No, honestly, like nail on the head.
Yeah?
Like, I don't know, I feel like I don't fit in with them. Like, I don't really align with the goals that they have. I don't align with their life experiences. Like, I just feel like the more I look around, I'm not really one of them. Like, visually, I play the part. Like, I look like I belong, but I don't feel like I belong, if that makes sense.
That does make sense, yeah. I mean, it sounds like it's a very nuanced program with a lot of different, everyone's kind of coming from different angles and different perspectives and all just joining together in this program. So, I mean, there's bound to be outliers, right? So I can understand why you might be feeling that way. I'm just wondering if those feelings are coming from what your classmates have made you feel, or you feel like this is kind of bubbling up more from in you, if that makes sense. Like, what has led you to feel like you don't belong, you don't share the same values? You're all in the same program.
I feel like it's a mixture of both. Like, I feel like it's stuff bubbling up from my past of like, again, just that reflection of like, oh, like, this is where I'm coming from and like, these are my experiences. And like, hearing people talk about like similar experiences, like, I feel like I could point to like a myriad of instances, usually like classroom based, which I know, again, like, that's why I feel like it's kind of like a weird judgment to make, because I'm like, hey, like, I know we're all learning here, like, we're not done, like, you know, I'm a third of the way through. There's still so much more to go through. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, sometimes, like, we were talking about like critical race theory and anti-Black racism, and someone said they were like hearing it for the first time, and that like they were watching a television show, like a reality TV dancing thing, where someone is Black and keeps getting low ratings. They were like, oh, like, me and my friends were joking that it could be racism, but now that I've heard about critical race theory, I'm starting to wonder if it actually is. And like, to me, that was crazy. So I'm like, damn, like, you never had a black friend before? Like, you never, like, opened any textbook prior to this that, like, even mentioned, like, the discrimination, how it impacts social work and the systems in which we work. Like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of them are just, like, almost snapshots of someone, of, like, something they said in class where I'm, like, placing a judgment on them, and I'm like, I can't believe you think that. That's crazy. Why would you think that?
I mean, that takes a lot of self-awareness to kind of come to that realization, though. The fact that you're able to kind of, first of all, recognize what causes you to feel that way and some of the things that some of your classmates are saying, despite all being in these same classes together and learning the same concepts, you know, realizing that, yeah, some people are learning this for the first time is probably intimidating to feel and kind of a little scary also, because you're all working towards similar goals, right? Even if you might not have that specific goal outlined yet, it sounds like you're all looking to be social workers, right?
Yeah.
So you would hope that you would all kind of have the same base level knowledge. So the fact that that might not be the case, I can understand why that would be frustrating. But in terms of recognizing your own feelings towards other people, I think it takes a lot of self-awareness to do that. So I want to commend you for being able to not only recognize that, but also talk about it with a stranger, right? Like that's a big thing, and I think that's something that we can definitely work on together, especially because, like you said, you are so early on in the program. So like there's a lot of time left, right? And I wonder if do you think it's one of those things that maybe will dissipate as the program continues and as you get to know your classmates better?
Honestly, I feel like it just ties into, and I don't know if this is true, like I feel like self-reflection is an issue I have where like, or identify an issue, and then I'd be like, well, that's step 1 and 2 in 1. I've already identified the issue, but I don't take steps to address it. And for me, like, yeah, I feel like as I get to know people better, like maybe I won't place the judgments on them, but I feel like my issue is placing the judgments in the first place. Like, I don't know any of these people. I've never met any of them before. And so to automatically assume that like those snapshots are them, like, I don't know, like it just kind of makes me feel, again, like I don't belong. So I'm like, I don't know if other people are holding the same judgment, I guess.
I mean, yeah, that's fair, but also it's important to remember that even though you are all in a social work program, you're all human. You're all human. Everyone has their own biases, their own assumptions about other people, their own snapshots that they've taken of other people. Like that's just part of what we do. Humans like to categorize things, and if that's how you categorize people, then that's how you do it. If you're looking to maybe find a healthier way to do that and feel less, use the word cynical, feel less cynical about that, then that's definitely something we can work on in terms of maybe changing your perspective a little bit and remembering that you are all human, that you are all coming from different walks of life. Does that sound like kind of something that you would like to achieve in counseling?
Honestly, yes. Like,
Yeah?
I don't know. I feel like viewing it in a different way, like changing my perspective would be a goal, because I feel like it's only going to lead into more judgment and stuff. Like now at school it's temporary, but like if I do take next steps into like a job, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be like thinking the same way, because then I'm stuck with the same people for like years if I stay there that long.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, it's kind of sounds like we've come pretty full circle already, even just our short session together. So you originally came in kind of exploring the feelings you've been having about your program and just kind of feeling a little bit like an outlier, like you don't necessarily belong in the program, and you haven't felt like there's a lot of shared values with some of your classmates. But you also highlighted that it's early in the program and that there's time to learn, there's time to grow, and you know, you're hoping to maybe change that perspective a little bit as time goes on, and as we continue to work together, you're hoping to kind of build on some of that empathy for other people. Does that sound like an accurate kind of summarization of what we've talked about?
No, I think so.
Yeah?
I feel like I like word vomit and then you just compressed it into like a neat little box.
I wouldn't call it word vomit. I would call it venting, perhaps. But regardless, I look forward to more venting sessions together, and I think we can do a lot of good work together.
No, I'm excited.
Thank you so much.